So yesterday we started our classes and objects, okay, and we built a very small classes, and from that we built some objects. I think we were working on some problem last time. When I left, I forgot what we were trying to do. Can anybody recall me, please? Uh, this is the last thing we did. I didn't save the file actually, it's automatically saved. There was some problem. I forgot what it was. Did anyone recall that?
Sir, I think it was a doubt of someone. We are
Uh,
solving that.
okay, is someone here, ma'am? Though the ma'am was there, I think. Ma'am is there. I don't know. She was having some doubt. Okay, don't worry. If she's not there, let's see. Let's proceed further. Okay. So others are here. Please tell me. I can listen the voice of only Utkarsh. What about others?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. That's the main thing. Okay. I want to hear that. Okay. So far right now, what we have been understand, we have used instance variables and we have used instant methods only, right? Now let us take into the picture about your class variables, or normally we call them static variables. Okay, so in your classes we will have two kind of variables. Understand, in classes we will have two kind of variables. Okay, one, instance variables. Okay, one which will have an instance variables, and second category will be having your class variables. As simple as that, right? So we will be having two kind of variables. One is instance variables, as we saw that, like self.name, self.age. These are what? These are your instance variables. And this you can, means whenever I'm creating a new instance, so at a new location, these variable will be saved. Suppose the name, there is name, and I create a 3 instance of the student. So, okay, so that name will be saved at 3 memory locations. Is it fine, everyone? Because that was at instance level. So it will be saved at 3 different memory location, and we can change the value of name and age because these are instance. So as per the instance, I can change it. Okay, but sometimes what happened, your requirement may be, okay, instead of object level, there is something which I want to be available in everyone. It is something which I want to be available in everyone. For example, we took a variable, if we took a variable at the class level itself. Okay, like tail. Suppose God created us and we take an example. So there is a variable known as tail. Okay, and it is at class level. Whenever you will be having some attribute at the object level, it will be known by something self dot something. Okay, it will be something self dot name or self dot age, something like that. Okay, so when I'm not mentioning self dot name, self dot age, I'm directly mentioning tail, right? Directly mentioning tail. I'm not referencing self. Self means you mean always a current instance or the instance level. So I'm not mentioning at the instance level. That means it is a class variable. So it will be available to every object that we create. Okay. So if I do that, if I run this cell now, okay, I run this cell and create few instances of that. Suppose first instance is S1. So S1 is equal to student. Let me go inside. Do we need to provide some parameters? So yes, it is saying we need to provide two parameters, names and age. Okay, corresponding to our instance variables. So suppose S1 is known as any name, Ram. Okay, and second one was age. Suppose age is 23. The first instance has been created. Now I created a second instance, S2. One more student join. And again, we have to provide two variables. So suppose one parameter is corresponding to Sita and her age is, let's say, 22. Okay, so we created two instances of the same student class, right? Now let us check their attributes. Let's come to first of all S1. So if I go here, S1 dot, if I press and press tab, so I can see, now I can see age, name, tail, and wish. 4 items are visible here, out of which you can say age is your instance variable. Perfect. Name is your instance variable. Perfect. Tail is your class variable. If you can notify it as tail is your class variable. Let me come here and click on age first of all. So I'll check. This will be the age corresponding to Ram, 23. S1 dot name. It is Ram again correspondingly. If I do S1 dot tail, right? It was a class variable. Let me see what I'm getting. I'm getting no. Perfect. This is the thing we said. So I'm getting no. Same no will be available everywhere. Let me check it out. Okay. So I move ahead again and I execute the function as well. Suppose s1 dot wish. Okay. It needs any arguments. Let me go inside. Yes, it is an argument constant. Suppose I said 0.5, whatever I want to put. You press enter, or let me execute this cell. Yes. Okay, perfect. I'm able to get that because age I supply 23. The multiplication factor age multiplied by constant is 0.5. So I get 23. If I multiply by 0.5, I get 11.5. Perfect till this point. Now let me come to the S2. We create one more instance. Let's check to the S2. S2 dot age. I should get 22. Perfect. S2 dot name. I should get Sita. Perfect. And now let's go to the S2 dot tail. It is no again, right? For S1, it is no. At S2, it is no because we set that variable corresponding to this level at the class level. This is your class variable of static variable. Is it fine till this point, everyone? I'm moving ahead in a few seconds. Please tell me. Is it okay for now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us take it to a next level. Suppose what I want, there are always exceptions available. Okay. There is exception available. The third student came. And unluckily in the nature also, so you see we see some funny news in the newspaper, right? There is a child born who has a tail and people are going inside carrying candle lights and everything, praying for him. Oh, he's a something reincarnation of God or something. We see that funny news in the newspapers, right? So still sometimes exception occurs. Okay. And for that particular person, the tail is available. For only that particular person, the tail is available, right? So for others, tail is not available, but for that particular person, tail is available. So what I am doing, I'm creating a third instance now, student, okay? And passing two parameters, names and age again. Suppose his name is this time Lakshman, okay? And age is suppose 18. Perfect. Let me check its values. S3 dot age, okay, 18, perfect. S3 dot name, Lakshman, S3 dot tail. What it is? No. But suppose he got a tail and I want to modify only for this particular person. Only for S3, I want to change the tail. For others, I don't want to change because exception can occur for this particular person. So what I will type S3 dot tail. Okay. Next line, I'm doing that S3 dot tail. This is variable. Is this which variable? This is instance variable or the class variable? Please tell me. This tail is, yeah, tail is a class variable. Let me set it to yes now. Okay. This person has a tail. So I'm running it. Perfect. Now let me check again. S3 dot tail. He has tail, but we have created other instance as well. Let's see. Is those impacted? S1 dot tail. No, it is not impacted. Let's check S2 dot tail. Was those impacted? No. Let me create fourth instance from the class and check. Is he impacted in the overall class? Let's check it. Let's check it. So again, I created a student. And the name this time I gave Shyam. And his age is supposed 25. Okay, let me check still property only because that is a property of the class. Let me check. Yes, he does not have, but only one person have, right? So sometimes if you require the class property to be changed at object level, you can directly do by this. Something, one more interesting thing. Suppose that S3 person has tail perfectly. I was able to change that and that was reflecting only at object level, not at class level. Suppose what happened instead of two hands, suddenly he got a third hand as well. Something biological disorder happened. He has a three hand as well. So it has third attribute as well. So what I can do at the instance level, we can add as many attributes as we want. So I'm going to go here again. At the S3 level, I'm going to say S3 dot third hand, whatever name I want to give to the attribute. Okay. Third hand and equals to, I said, yes. Okay, only in S3 instance, I'm going to change. I'm adding the attributes. Okay, so S3 dot third hand equals to S. Let me run this. Okay, now if I check to S3, See, this third hand has also been added as an attribute. Okay, so you can add as many attributes as much you want later on. There is no problem at all. Okay, so if I run this and I can check it, yes, here's the third hand. But if I check anyone else, like S3, S4, S1, they won't have this third hand perfect. Is it fine, everyone? So in every instance, we can add as many parameters as we want, because there may be something specific to any instance that may be quite possible. Okay, and at any instance you want to make the change to the class variable, we can also do that. Is it okay so far, everyone? Please.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
let us do one thing. Okay. Now suppose I want to make changes at the class level directly. This is for now. Now tail is no. Suppose God decide no. I want to make change one thing. What I want to do, I want to make sure that everyone got tail. Why only S3 is having the tail? Everyone should got tail. So how can I change that? Okay, everyone means at one place. This class has already been created. One way simple, I can come here and make it yes. So it will become yes for everyone. That's not a problem. But this class has been created. Later on, I want to modify. Later on, I want to modify. So I can do it different ways. First way of doing that is at the class level. How? What is my class name? My class name is student. Okay. What is this attribute? Attribute name is tail. Okay. What we have mentioned? We have mentioned it to be no, right? I'm coming using directly class name, right? See, I'm directly using the class name. Before that, let me press some empty. I'm using directly name, class name, and then class variable. I'm just making it yes, right? Okay, directly using the class name, then it's attribute dot tail. This is the way we access the attributes, and I'm just pressing okay, yes. So do you think what is going to happen? Anyone? Any idea what is going to happen? If I'm going to make some changes, let me do that. Okay, I just do that. Remember, these are the attributes. S4.tail is no, S1.tail is no, S2.tail is no. Let us now try to check. We have already created the instance. S1.tail, the tail has come back for everyone. S2.tail, it has come for everyone. Is it fine, everyone? Please check it and tell me.
Yes.
Others, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
directly we can go here and we can change it. Directly we can go take the help of direct class, access its attribute. Normally we access the instance attributes, just make the changes there. Very simple way. Second way of doing is this. What I'm doing, this is a class variable right now, right? This is a class variable. So I'm going to copy it and paste it here. Now what is happening here? What we have mentioned here, these are your instance methods. Okay, those methods which operates on the instance are known as instance methods. So we have used self here. So how do we recognize these are instance methods? We will seeing the word self. That means we are trying to operate our instance methods. Okay. Now I want to change this, right? I want to change it, and what it is a class variable. So to modify your class variables, you need class methods. These are your instance methods because you're trying to modify your instance variables. So those we operate on instance variables are instance methods, and those we operate on class variables are class methods. So I have to use class method. And how do we use class method? Simple. You have to write a keyword which we call as decorator at the rate class method, like this. Every time you are going to use write any class method, remember what is class method? Nothing but methods which operate on class variables. As simple as that. Okay. The class method which operate on class variables. After that, once you define, write your function, whatever you want to define. Okay. Whatever function you want to define. So I'm defining a function name def. How do we define function def? Same way normally we do that. Suppose function name is tail modifier, tail underscore modifier. Okay. And whenever you are using your class method, type a word known as CLS. Again, I'm repeating, it's not mandatory. Like self is not mandatory, means the word self itself is not mandatory. You can put any other name. CLS is not mandatory, but it is recommended. This is what people write. After that, suppose I need further arguments. If you need further argument, use them. If you don't need further arguments, entirely your choice. Suppose I will take a decision from the user. So I may mention any name decision. I will ask from the user, okay, you want the tail to be there or do you don't want the tail to be there? That's it. Put a colon. And after that, what you want to change? You want to change the tail. How will I use? The same way I mentioned self.name. You will mention CLS.tail. CLS.tail because I want to modify it. And what I want to put, whatever decision will be provided here. Whatever value yes or no will be provided here, I will just use that. So I just mentioned here decision. Okay. One, done, simple. What I did to operate on this class variable, I created a class method. So before creating a class method, you have to write this word @ class method, which is nothing but a decorator. So you are writing, anytime you are writing a class method, you have to use this word class method. There is one more method I'll tell you. Don't worry, I'm about to come to that. Okay, at the class method, then define your function normally, but ensure to use your CLS word. Okay, otherwise whatever word you will write here, it will be treated as, okay, this is your corresponding to class only. For example, instead of self, if I remove self and place cons here, it will understand, okay, right now you means cons means what? The same thing, remember, which we talk about. Okay, it means it holds the address of the instance. So same it will recognize. So better put it that way that the people able to recognize. Put CLS, it is an optional argument that you want to put, entirely your choice. Okay, but this is mandatory if you want to operate on the class variable. This is mandatory if you want to operate on instance variables. That's the way to recognize. If somebody is having CLS, remember it is a class method. If it is having self, it is an instance method. Okay. And to access the same way, you want to access instance variables, you will use self.name. You want to access class variable, you will use CLS.tail example. And whatever thing you want to put it here. Just done. So let me execute this. Okay. It has been done. Let me create an instance of this class. So suppose instance is what? S1 equals to, or any other name that we haven't used, suppose P1 equals to student. It needs some argument, it needs names and age. So suppose name, I'm putting my name this time and putting age, suppose 32. Okay, execute that. Done perfectly. Let me check its attribute P1 dot tail. What it is? No. Perfect. Okay. If you want to check at the class level itself, I can do that. Student dot tail. Still no. Perfectly fine. No issue. If I create as many instances, doesn't matter. Everywhere it will be no for now. Okay, no issue with that. Now the thing comes, if I want to change it again, one way I told you, directly using student.tail is equal to, I can write in the keywords yes, it will be changed. One way is that's very easy to do. Second way is that this method is available at the class level. So I can directly use that. How? I'm coming here, student dot, what method I have taken? Tail modifier. Okay, tail modifier. Put a bracket. Okay, I'm using at the class level, right? Student dot tail modifier. And what it needs, let me go inside and check, press shift plus step together. It needs a decision. Okay, so right now decision is no. I want to make it yes. Just type inside yes. Okay, and execute this. Now you can check, come to the student.tail, means execute this. You will see yes. Even P1 has been created. Let me check the earlier P1 tail was no. Now check P1 dot tail. Okay, the tail has been present. Second method. Okay, how can you change the class variables? Is it fine, everyone, so far? Please tell me, everyone, is it fine?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Third way. So okay, so for now, what is the what happened? The class variable has become yes. We can observe that by here as well. Suppose I again want to turn it back, but using different method, not using simple one. I want to change it immediately. I can bring it to know how. Student dot tail without even using function is equal to what it is. Yes, I want to make it no. Perfect. Done. As simple as that. Done. Verify. Verify from memory where p1.tail earlier is yes. Let me check from p1 itself. p1.tail. What's the case? It has become no. Okay. Now suppose I want to make it yes as well, but a different method. So what I can do, if I come here, use p1 dot. If I do this thing, p1 dot tail is equal to yes. So we have studied this. What is going to happen? Of course, for this instance only, the tail is going to become yes, but not at the class level. Fine, everyone. If I'm directly going to use p1 dot tail is equal to s, this difference is going to this change is going to reflect only at the instance level. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let me run that. Let me check again p1 dot tail. Of course, its tail has come back. Sorry, p1 dot tail, its tail has come back, but not for the class level. Let me check student dot tail. It's still not come, right? Right? But I can change it at the instance from the instance level itself, because remember, I have to access a method which is able to change the class variable, and those methods are what? Your class methods. So I can access what I can do. I can come here. Please mute yourself. Yeah. So I can come here again, P1, and that as I want to change the class variable, right? I want to change the class variable. So change the class variable, which methods are required? Instance methods or class methods? Now you can tell me, to change the class variables, which kind of method is required? Instance methods or the class methods? To change at the class level, of course, we require class
The
method,
class method, sir.
right? So I'm going to come here and remember what was the name? It was already available, tail modifier. Okay, it is also available at the instance level. Click here, come here, press shift and tab. It is also asking a decision, right? Let me put it what it is right now. P1 dot tail is yes. Student tail is no. Okay, let me press yes here. Student tail is yes. Oh, sorry, no yet. So I'm pressing yes here. Let me run this. Let me check p1 dot tail. It should be yes. Now let us check at the class level. Has it been changed or not? It should have also earlier it was no. After this executing this function, it should have become yes again. Is it fine, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there are different ways you can change your class variable. Actually, I'm telling because these questions normally people ask in the, if you are giving the Python interview, or if you are going to give the data science interview or the machine learning interview, they don't ask this. They don't ask you. I've already told you what kind of question they may ask you: immutables, mutability, list comprehension, dictionary comprehension. These kind of questions they may ask. Okay, they won't ask this because they don't expect, okay, you should know in-depth Python. They don't know. They know you only, you should know what is your task. Your task is the machine learning. So if you know that much Python, which is required for the machine learning, enough. Even you won't use this. You won't use this in the machine learning ever, so far as I have encountered. But suppose in future you want to study deep learning. Okay, you want to go the deep learning. So deep learning has different platforms to use on. You can use your Keras. Okay, and second, you can use your PyTorch. If you're using Keras, you won't require this thing in depth. But if you are going to use PyTorch, in PyTorch, everything is classes and objects only. Everything you create is create, first of all, you create class, then you create object, then you create class, then you create object. So if you are going to use PyTorch, and people are now shifting from Keras to PyTorch, Keras is very easy to learn. Very, very easy to learn. Keras is very easy. PyTorch is a bit tough to learn because of object-oriented concept. But why people are shifting to the PyTorch? Because PyTorch have awesome support for graphics card. So if you want to take the help of graphic cards for a faster implementation of your code, for especially for your images and videos, that PyTorch is awesome. That's why people are migrating to the PyTorch. Okay, in future, if you are planning to study deep learning, then you should know all these things. I hope it is fine till this point. Can I move ahead, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we studied itself, we can at any instant we can add as many attributes as we want. First of all, as many attributes as we want. Second, what is class variable? How, what are the different ways to modify the class variables? What happens if we just modify the class variable at the instance level without using the class method? Then what happens? And if we use the class method, then what happens? So every possible condition we have seen so far. Okay, so far it is fine. Now what is happening till now? We have used init method right here. initialize our variables. Okay, and it is a recommended method. Remember, this is the recommended method to use initialization methods. You can even initialize your variables at the instance level without using init method, but that way is not recommended. Let me show you how can you do that. Okay, suppose, but I am repeating once again, that is not a recommended practice. So if you are going to study some good books, if you're going to study some good books, they will only discuss this init method. They won't study different method because professional programmers follow this practice only using init method. Okay, so other method is what? Suppose I create a class, a simple class, test class. See, the class is test class. Okay, I can put a colon or I can put a bracket. If I'm not doing inheritance, I can skip that. I can put just a colon, or if I even if I put bracket, perfectly fine, no issue. Okay, I just put pass statement, an empty class I create. Now see what is going to happen. I create an instance of this class. How? Instance name is suppose I1. Okay. How would we create the instance? Test. Bracket. First instance has been created. Okay. Let me create second instance I2. Or let it be let it be I1 first of all. I will create second one later on I1. Now what I can do, I can say I1. Okay. I have not used any instance attributes yet, right? I've not used any variables, but I want to assign them, initialize them. So what I'm going to say I1 dot name, whatever I want, I can put here I1 dot name. Suppose name is Praveer. First attribute. Okay. Second, I2 dot age. Sorry, I1 dot age. Same instance is there. Dot age equals to 32. Okay. I did that. Let me get second instance this time. I2 dot name equals to suppose Utkarsh. Okay. I2 dot age is equal to whatever you want to put, suppose 23. Or you want third one as well, because at instance level, we can have attributes as per our requirement. I said I2 dot, what should I say? Nationality, example, equals to the text India. Okay, I execute that. What happened? Where is the mistake? I2 is not defined. Okay, I didn't create the instance. That's why it is happening. Let me create the instance. I2 is equal to test. And then let me execute this. Perfect. Now, if I go to the I1, I1 is what? An instance of the test class. And earlier it was empty class, but I tried to add some attributes here, right? Let me come here and check. I1 dot, you can see two attributes are visible here. Let me press H because we assign only two attributes. I should get 32. Okay. Second, I1 dot name. I get Praveer, right? So at this instance only, corresponding to this is whenever I create an instance, same purpose, a memory location is assigned, and at that memory location, name has been assigned to Praveer, and a variable age has been taken, value assigned 32. And again, when I create a second instance, a new memory location, and that memory location name is Utkarsh, age is 23, and nationality is India. Let me verify about the I2. I2 dot name should be Utkarsh. Can you check? I2 dot age 23, I2 dot nationality. Okay, India. Okay, so we can initialize our variable this way as well without using init method. So don't get confused. That's what I want to tell you, because in interviews they may trick you. Yeah, if you use init method, can may not be through that. But if you don't know, you will say, no, sir, I know only one method of doing initialization. So you should know that this is the one way. There is one more way. There is one more way. Let me show you that. Not doing that. So there are three methods. One method is we just saw. This is the method. We create simple an empty class, and within an empty class, we just keep putting, or even you create any class and later on put that. That's entirely your choice. Means directly without using inside any class, I just use this. One way more. So two ways we have used, one init method, second this way. Third, one more way. See, I create a class. Okay, I create a class, and in this class, whatever class name is, suppose again test1. This is okay. I put a colon or a bracket. It's entirely my choice for now. And here I define some method C, def. See properly, okay? Def set. I'll tell you why I'm using the word set. Okay, name parentheses. Okay, self word, because when the self word is coming, we're talking about the instance. And suppose I will take the argument from the user itself, name. And here I'm saying simply the way we do it, self dot name is equal to whatever value. Suppose this is name one. What you want to put? I want to have an attribute known as name. So I am putting name here. And that should be equal to this name, whatever you are putting here. Suppose name one. Okay. One more attribute you want. So you can do def set age. Not mandatory to put your set word, but actually these are known as instance method. Basically, an instance method, particularly if you're setting some parameters, you're making some changes. These are known as mutator method actually. That's why mutator method normally should start from the word set. You're setting something, right? And third one are your accessor method, by help of which you get something. I'll show you that, don't worry. Set age, okay? And age, again, self. I'm not using your init method, right? See, self. And again, this time I want age one, okay? And here I'm saying self dot age should be equal to age one. This is your simple method known as mutator method. I'm setting something. Other methods I'm doing accessor method. So whenever I want to access something, I'll put get word. Okay, get. So what I want to get the name value. I want to get the value of name. Okay, I want to get something. So I'm just passing self again to use at the instance level. And I'm saying simple like we do with the functions return. What I want to return, sorry, return, right? And now I want what I want. I want name. So I'm passing self dot name. I want the value of self dot name. Right? Similarly, one more get method or accessor method. Def get age. I want age. Okay. Self. Okay. Because I want to access, I don't need to take any parameter, just to need those values, access those. Return what I need this time, age. So then self dot age. Okay. So let me execute this. Execute it. Let me create an instance this time. Let me get an instance this time. So instance is again known as A1. Okay. So how do we create instance? Test
Test one.
one. Okay. Let's push shift and tab. It is not asking for any argument. Perfect. Enter this. Now see, this A1 will have access to these four methods. A1 dot. We press tab. So I have four methods. Okay. So suppose I have not put any value of the names, attributes, or age attributes for this particular instance. Now I want to set it. Right? How I can do that? Means I want to initialize them. I will use the method set name. Right? Set name, because I want to set the value. I want to initialize the value. And it's a method. I'll put a parenthesis. Now it will be showing. I have to put name here. Okay. I have to put name here. Name I put suppose prefer. Done. Second attribute I want to set. What is that? Age. For that, which function I require? Set age function. So A1 dot set age. Okay. Parentheses. Go inside. Shift tab. What is it? Is age one. Right? So I put age. Suppose I page 32. So I have successfully set those. If I want to check those, no issue. How do we access the attributes? Remember, A1 dot name. Let me press this. Can you check it? Name is Praveer. A1 dot age. They have initialized my variables, instance variables. Fine. If I want to use these functions to get something, you can use them. But this is how we access the attributes, right or wrong? By putting just names of the attributes, right? This is how we access everywhere. So remember, these are different ways. You can use, want to use these functions and you want to use anywhere else. It's entirely your choice. For example, A1 dot get name. Sorry, A is not there. A1. A1 dot get name or get age, whatever you want to use. I don't need to put any argument here. See, because I put the set. If I run this, it will be showing me the age, which you can save it in any variable that you want, because it is returning me something. I hope it is clear. So you can initialize your variables in different ways, not only init method, but which is the recommended method? If you ask me again, the professional programmers follow this method. They use init method. Okay, they use init method to visualize, but you should know all the possibilities are there. Not only one possibility that all the time you have to use init method, other possibilities are also there. Okay, so now let's come to the methods we were discussing. So there are three kind of methods which are available. Number one, instance method, okay, which operates on instance variables. Okay, and there are two kind of that. One is your accessor method, as we just saw, to access something, and mutator methods like set, we just saw mutator methods. Okay, second kind of methods are your class methods, and simple, which operate on class variables. Right? And how to recognize your instance methods will be using the word self inside. Okay, and your class methods will be using the word, which word? CLS. But whenever you are using a class method, before that, use decorator at the rate class method. Okay. Now, third method is also there. There is one more, third more method. Okay. There is third more method. Anyone recall what is that? Known as static methods.
Directly.
Okay, what it does, it doesn't operate on your instance variables, doesn't operate on the class variables. They are used for utility purpose. Some utility use, suppose you want to print something, and they don't need any self inside, they don't need any class inside, they don't need any self inside, they don't need any class inside. Okay, they don't need it at all, they don't require. Okay, but to use them as a static method, you have to use a decorator, which is known as at the rate static method, like this. Okay, you have to use at the rate static method. Is it fine, everyone? Please. Okay, and if you want to use them, let me show you how can we use a static method. Simple. Let me copy something from here itself, a small one. You get a clear idea. Okay, so we have already seen how to use our instance method, class method. Let's see a static method. Okay, so whenever I want to create a static method, first of all, use decorator known as static method. Static method. Okay, after that, write your method whatever you want. Suppose my method name is greet. We have been using that, and you don't need anything inside. If you want to use it, use it. It's entirely your choice, but you don't require self for sure, you don't require CLS for sure. Suppose I want to multiply something, so I can ask for the number 1 and number 2, and here I can say return number 1 into number 2. That you can do. It's entirely your choice. Suppose I don't need anything, what I want to do, I just want to say print hello. That's it. This is your static method. Okay, you want to pass the argument, it's entirely your choice. I'll show you an example. Let me run this. Okay, create an instance of this. So for instance, name is q is equal to test1 parentheses. Let me run this. Let me go inside. I will see a method. It is only one, that's why it is directly appearing. Pressing tab is automatically coming here. Okay, let me put parentheses, press shift and tab to see. No, it doesn't need anything. Let me run it. I'll see the message that I need. Hello, this is your static method. Okay, suppose instead of that, I want to take some argument from the user, A and B. And what I want to do, I want to do hello, this is your static method. And after that, I want to print A multiply by B or A plus B, something like that. Okay, I want to do something A plus B. So let me run this. Let me run this again. And this time it will be needing two arguments from me. See, A and B. So let me pass 5 plus 5 comma 5. So you can expect what I will be getting. Let me run this. I get hello. This is your static method. I'm writing here. Or you want to return something, it's entirely your choice. Agar you want to return this value as well, a plus b. Okay, so this can also be done. Let me run this, let me run this, let me run this. So this value is returned as well. Can you see that? So which you can save in any variable. I hope all three methods should be clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Others, please, if any doubt, please let me know. Okay, and remember one more thing, we are coming to that thing. This the reason why the class is getting so popular, the reason which why I love this class method is known as inheritance. I love this concept, and you will also love this concept because it helps me to satisfy the very common scenario among the programmers known as a try. Remember, we have spoke about this word earlier as well. What do you mean by that? Can anybody recall?
Sir,
Yes,
don't repeat
yes.
yourself.
Don't repeat yourself. Okay, and this is where your inheritance come into the picture. Okay, let me show you an example. Let me give you a simple example. Okay, so I'm coming here and I'm gonna create a class. Okay, class is suppose say animal class. A simple example I'm take always so that you can understand. And for now, suppose every time we put a parenthesis here, you can skip that. Perfect, fine, no issue. Okay, and also remember that as we see here we have not initialized any variables. So if your class doesn't have attributes, later on you can add the attributes, you know that, then you can use only method inside also class, inside the classes, only methods. You don't need any attributes, then you can skip them. You can use only methods as well. Okay, that we did here as well, suppose here. Okay, here no something init method or initialize, like we initialize our variable but by our own way. Okay, so I'm moving here, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put colon here. Okay, if I ask you, if I don't put here anything, then can you tell me what this animal belongs to, which parent class? We studied yesterday. Every class in Python is a child class of someone, and that particular thing is known as object. Remember, I told you yesterday. You can put object here. If you don't put it, automatically understand. Okay, it's a root class is object. From that, everything is getting constructed. So suppose I'm creating. If you don't want to pass any argument inside, you can even skip this. Okay, understand? But I'm putting. I love to put this. Okay, come here, and for now, I'm defining two methods inside this, like eat method. Okay, and at the instance level, I need this method. So I'm saying self here. Okay, very simple method I'm going to create right now. Eat self. Okay, and I'm going to print he/she eats. Okay, understand? I'll tell you why the logic is this. Okay, then I define one more function, sleep. Again, I put a self, and I said print he/she sleeps. Okay, I created a class, animal class, in which I decide, okay, every animal should be capable of performing some functions. Okay, but their eating habit may be different. I may eat my way, you may eat your way. For example, the people from South India, they used to eat rice by their hands. Okay, but people, if you come to North India, they used to eat rice by spoons. Everyone may have a different eating habit. Suppose those person who are working in a US shift, they used to work in the night and sleep in the day, right? So they may have different eating habits or sleeping habits. That's why I created them at the instance level. Okay, these are available here. Now what is happening? See, this is done. Now I create one more class known as bird class. Okay, one more class, bird class. And what happens? We know that every bird eats, right? Every bird sleeps. So I can copy and paste these without any problem. And please tell me if you face any difficulty for now. And beside that, it has some other attributes as well. For example, every bird flies. Every bird flies. So I can say print he/she flies. Okay, I make my one more class. But if you observe it properly, whatever I have done, if I'm in the industry, those people will kick me out because here I'm not falling dry. What is happening is there is something, means what is bird? Bird is nothing but a category of animal. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Or the bird eats, the bird sleeps. Already they do that, right? But I'm here doing, okay, bird eats, bird sleeps, bird flies. Okay, this attribute is different, perfectly fine. But what is happening in programming word, we always should follow, don't repeat yourself. Okay, so what is happening? There already exists a class. There already exists a class, and suppose those class attributes and methods you want to copy in yourself. Those class methods and attributes you want to use yourself. So what happens? Every animal eats, every animal sleeps, same bird eats and sleeps. These properties, eating and sleeping, I want to take from the animal class. So why I am even writing this? This is a very small example where we have only two functions. In real time, you may have 10, 15 attributes and 30, 40 functions that you will keep typing. How rubbish is that? How rubbish is that, right? So what I can do, I can take an help of inheritance now. Why don't I inherit? Why don't I inherit the attributes and method of some other class, which is already exists? So what I can do, instead of writing this eat and sleep, I can delete them and I can inherit the property of or methods and attributes of this animal class. How can I do? In this bracket, now this bracket comes to the picture. Next to the bird, I will type its parent class, animal. Okay, I will type its parent class animal because from this class, I want to inherit its methods and attributes. So I don't require these two anymore. I can delete them. I can delete them. So right now, only one method which is specific to this bird is visible. I hope it is fine, everyone. Okay, let me execute this. Let me execute this. Okay, let me create an instance of this bird class. Okay, suppose bird is sparrow. Okay, and BIRD. This is how we create the instance. We don't need to put anything inside, right? Let me execute this. What do you think? How many functions will be there inside the bird right now? Sorry, not bird, sparrow. How many functions will be there in the instance sparrow? Three, right?
One, two,
Three.
three, sir.
Eat, sleep, and fly. All because these two, it has inherit from its parent class. This is nothing but your inheritance. I'll come to on the advanced level as well, multi-level, multiple inheritance that will come, but you should understand what is happening. Okay, so if I now press sparrow dot, press tab, can you see all three methods are in my arsenal now? Eat method, it is there. Let me run this. Okay, sparrow eats, perfect. Sparrow dot sleep. These two have been taken from animal, right? Yes, he or she sleeps. Sparrow dot fly, which is specific to this particular subclass. All are incorporated, right? So this is known as parent class, and this is known as child class. Okay, this is your parent class, animal, and this is known as your child class. Please tell me, everyone, any doubt till so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, but now the problem will come. Let me tell you, is it fine? It is fine so far. All the method that we have defined are perfectly fine. But suppose you try to use init method, then the problem will arise. Let me do one thing. Let me come here and let me create a init method. Okay, let me create init method in the bird only, in this. Okay, and what I did, I define an init method. If you don't use init method, you don't have any problem. If you are using this method, using your setter method, rather mutator method, to initialize your variables that we did here, where we did that, where it has gone. No, this is not the case. Where we did that. I cannot see it anywhere. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. If I initialize my variables this way, then you don't have any problem, right? But it is not a recommended method, as I told you. But if you are using this, then the problem I'm going to discuss is not going to happen, because this way I'm going to set the parameters using function names. So I won't have any problem. But if I use my init method inside, see what is going to happen if I'm initializing variables. So I'm saying def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Okay. And here self, and suppose a parameter I'm taking, for example, age I want to take. So I'm just, in short, I'm typing age, and I'm default I'm giving as 0. Okay. I put a colon, and then I said self dot age equals to the way we do ag. Still there will be not be any problem. Still there will not be any problem. Let me run this, because the this init method is available only if you observe only in your child class. It is not available inside your parent class yet. So you don't have any problem so far. Okay, the problem will come after this. If I run this, create an instance, suppose this time I create an instance coil is equal to bird. Okay, yes. Do I need an argument? Yes, I need an argument. What it should be? Age. So suppose age is, I said, 1 year or 2 year. Execute that. Done. I can access coil dot. Okay. So I have an attribute age and 3 methods: eat, fly, and sleep. These we already have seen. Let's see age. So I will be getting whatever I have passed. Perfect, fine. Now let us make it a bit complex now. Let me create one init method here. Means let us set some attributes in the animal parent class. Okay. Now the problem will arise. Now the problem will arise. So let me create it, and I'm defining it like this. Def, again same way, underscore underscore init underscore underscore self, and suppose I need an argument. Okay, again I need an argument, because every element, any animal will have some weight. Every animal will have some weight. So in short, I'm writing suppose wght, or by default I give it to be 0. Then I said self dot attribute is what? Weight, instance variable, right? Equals to wght. Okay, I use that, simple as that. Execute that. So what should happen? I use the weight. Okay. Now see, if I create this class again. Okay. So I'm creating this class again from the same class. Both have init method. Both have init method. It has an attribute weight and 2 methods, eat and sleep. It has an attribute age and method fly. Okay. So let me run this and create an instance. Suppose coil1 equals to bird. Let me go inside. Can you see how many arguments it is asking me? How many arguments it is asking me? Can you observe?
Only one.
Only one, age. Where this weight go? That's the issue. Let me put the age first of all. Let me put age is 2 years. Okay. If I come here and use QL1 dot, can you see here also the weight attribute is not visible, which was available in the parent class. It is no longer visible here. Why? Actually, what happens? This child class init methods or init method or constructor overrides this init method. Okay, override this init method. That's why you are not able to see that. And that's a problem. And it will be a very common case, right? Every animal may have some weight and it is not visible here. Even you don't ask argument and you pass the self dot weight is equal to weight, something like that. You don't take from the user, set it yourself. Still, it will override it because this init method has override this init method. That's why I said this problem will come whenever you are having an init method. If you are not using init method to initialize your variable, you don't have this problem. Okay, but we can override it. We can override it. Don't worry, we can override it. How can we override it? Let me show you. Let me use this again. I will take a help of a super method. I will take a help of a method known as super method, and it will save me. And it will save me. How? See, what I will do when I'm creating, first of all, I'll tell you, okay, this age is corresponding to this. I will check my parent class. Okay, my parent class also has my parent class an argument known as weight. They need an argument. Okay, so let me give the provision for user to enter that as well. So I'll come here. This is my own argument. Okay, I'm putting one more argument. Order doesn't matter because you are whichever order you entered here, same order it will be taken. So first you will enter age, then age will be taken, and whatever you enter here, it will be taken. So anything you can put. Suppose I put weight here. Any doesn't matter. Name doesn't matter here. Suppose I put weight. Here we have used WGHT. I'm putting suppose WEGT HT equals to, and by default right now I'm putting it 0. Okay, by default I'm putting it 0. So if user doesn't enter, it will be taken as 0. But later on we know that if your user is going to put, it will be going to modify. Now after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a method known as super method. Okay, which will prevent this overriding. Okay, the constructor overriding which is happening will prevent that. So that is your super method. You will write here after this init line in your child class, use super method, use this one. So what it is saying, see, you will understand this super method is saying means super. Super means what? Who is the super class of this bird class? Super means parent class. So who is the parent class of this bird class? Which class is that?
Animals.
Animal, right? So it is saying super dot init means access this, right? Means super dot init means use super dot init as well. Don't let it go. Okay, use super dot init. So this init method, whatever mentioning is of what? Is of super class. And what is super class? Super class is animal class. Okay, after that, put your parentheses. Normally we put for the method. And here in this argument, like age and weight, do you think which is for the argument of your parent class? Here, what we need? We weight. So whatever you have decided, okay, this will be the weight. Put same thing here. What is the name you have suggested? Weight here. So just use it, put it here. Okay, so when I will create the instance of the class, I have to supply two arguments, age and weight. Weight automatically will be going to my super initialization method of parent class. So automatically I will have weight, and age. So don't worry. So just done that. Only this statement needs to be added. Only this one. Nothing else to be done. Let me execute it. Let me create a new instance now. Any bird name, suppose peacock. I'm just giving an example. Peacock. Peacock already very less fly. Peacock is equal to bird. Put parentheses, this time it will ask for two arguments. Can you see? Age and WEGHT. Suppose age I put 2 and weight I put 23. So this 2 will be taken by this age because we have put AG here, right? And this 23 will be taken by this method. And this method is of what? Super class. Super class is what? Animals. So means it will go here. Okay, it will go here. So let me run this. And now I will see whatever I want. Peacock. Peacock, I have written, mistake is there. Okay, dot. Can you see? Now even your weight is visible. Is it fine, everyone? Earlier it was not visible, right? So let me press the H, run this. Age is 2 years. If we want to see the weight, this weight attribute is available where? Weight attribute is available in the animal class. Okay, so peacock dot weight, right? Press enter. It should be 23. Because remember, this weight attribute is not available in my child class. It's an attribute of parent class. Okay, so running that, I'm getting 23. This is how we solve this problem. Hope it is fine, everyone. So can I end? Actually, I have to rush somewhere. Is it fine, everyone? Please. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
tomorrow at 6:30 only, we are going to continue. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir.
6:30.
Thank you,
same
sir.
time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
everyone.
sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.